If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns entered the 2024 NFL Draft with a mix of excitement and frustration swirling around their decisions. On one hand, they pulled off a surprising steal by drafting Shedeur Sanders late, a move that could pay dividends in the years ahead. On the other hand, they passed up on Travis Hunter, a high upside player many expected to be a priority. More concerning was their failure to address glaring roster holes, especially at wide receiver, a position that has been a sore spot for Cleveland for quite some time. Despite having Jerry Jeudy as a reliable option, the Browns clearly needed more depth and explosive playmakers to truly threaten opposing defenses. This left fans and analysts scratching their heads, wondering how Cleveland would fix this wide receiver drought before the season even began. In a move that seemed reactive rather than proactive, the Browns quickly signed Diontae Johnson as a free agent shortly after the draft. Johnson's resume, however, left much to be desired. After bouncing between 3 teams last season and posting modest stats, 33 receptions for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns, his presence isn't exactly a game changer. On top of that, his reputation for attitude issues has been well documented, raising questions about his fit within the team culture. At 28 years old, Johnson's production appears to be trending downward, which makes him a gamble rather than a guaranteed upgrade. The Browns needed a more reliable and dynamic weapon, but instead found themselves stuck with uncertainty and a lack of standout options. Looking beyond free agency, the Browns' options to improve the receiver core were limited. The market was thin, with big names like Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper either not interested or a poor fit for Cleveland's long-term plans. While a Cooper reunion might sound logical on paper, it would also be fraught with awkwardness given past dynamics. Trades were another avenue, but no suitable deals materialized. Essentially, the Browns were left with one practical option: develop talent already on their roster. This is where Cedric Tillman steps into the spotlight. Among the players Cleveland has, Tillman represents the best hope to fill the void left. By the draft and free agency shortcomings at wide receiver, Cedric Tillman emerged last season as a bright spot in an otherwise inconsistent offense. He earned significant playing time after Amari Cooper was traded, giving Browns fans a glimpse of what he could bring to the table. Before a concussion sidelined him in Week 12, Tillman recorded 29 catches for 339 yards and 3 touchdowns. A solid contribution for a player still finding his footing in the NFL. His physical profile is exactly what Cleveland needs. At 6'3" and 215 pounds, Tillman has the ideal size to compete as a top receiver. More importantly, his athleticism, particularly his leaping ability, allows him to make contested catches that can shift momentum and spark the offense. The Browns have shown they believe in Tillman's potential, but the bigger question is whether they can fully trust him to step into a more prominent role. With so little NFL experience under his belt, the risk is that he might struggle with consistency and the mental demands of being a primary target. Still, the team's current roster makeup leaves no better alternative. Until another receiver steps up or the Browns find new talent, Tillman is the best bet to support Jerry Jeudy and help the offense gain traction. The franchise's future could depend heavily on his ability to rise to this challenge. One of the most important reasons why Tillman's development matters so much is the potential plan for Cleveland's quarterback situation. The Browns are likely to lean on a rookie signal caller at some point in 2025, whether that's Shedeur Sanders, their recent draft pick, or Dillon Gabriel, another young prospect. For any young quarterback to succeed, having reliable targets around him is crucial. Wide receivers who can get open, make tough catches, and provide a steady outlet are a quarterback's best friends. If the Browns want their rookie quarterback to grow confidently, they need weapons like Tillman who can deliver consistent production and help take some pressure off the new QB. Tillman's flashes of brilliance during the 2024 season, especially between weeks 7 and 9 when he hauled in 21 receptions, were a promising sign. Those performances hinted at his potential to become a dependable target. If he can build on those moments and maintain health, Tillman could not only solidify his role as the Browns' number 2 receiver, but also help the offense become more dynamic and unpredictable. For a team that's been searching for offensive identity, this development could be a game changer. It's a chance for Tillman to step out of the shadows and prove that Cleveland's faith in him wasn't misplaced. The wider context for the Browns is that they are undeniably in a rebuilding phase. This makes every decision, every development, and every player's growth all the more important. The lack of immediate impact draft picks at receiver, combined with limited free agent options, means that the team's future success might hinge on internal growth stories like Tillman's. While the draft left many questions unanswered, Tillman's rise offers a narrative of hope and redemption. If he can become the weapon Cleveland needs, it will go a long way towards smoothing over what some are calling an inexplicable draft oversight. In essence, Cedric Tillman stands as a symbol of the Browns' hope to rectify their offseason mistakes without breaking the bank or making risky trades. His presence gives Cleveland something tangible to build on, even if it means taking a chance on a young player still developing his craft. Tillman's physical tools and flashes of talent make him a perfect fit for an offense eager to evolve. With the Browns leaning on youth and potential, Tillman's performance could very well dictate how quickly this team moves from rebuilding to contending. For fans, he represents a sleeper weapon that might finally solve a persistent Cleveland problem. As the new NFL season approaches, all eyes will be on Tillman and how the Browns handle their wide receiver situation. Can he step up and be the reliable second option the offense desperately needs? Will his growth accelerate fast enough to support a rookie quarterback's development? These questions remain unanswered, but are critical to the Browns' trajectory. If Tillman delivers, Cleveland's inexplicable mistakes in the draft could be forgiven, and the team might have found a hidden gem. Otherwise, the Browns risk continuing their struggles to field a consistent, threatening offense. The coming months will be telling, and Tillman is poised to be at the center of Cleveland's hopes for a turnaround. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. All right, folks, gather round because the NFL just dropped a bombshell that's shaking up the quarterback landscape in a way we haven't seen in years. The Cleveland Browns, in a bold and unprecedented move, have officially closed a mega trade that brings not one, but two high-profile quarterbacks to town, Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. Yeah, you heard that, right? Cleveland is betting big, stacking its deck with two of the league's most dynamic signal callers, aiming to turn the franchise into an instant powerhouse. This trade isn't just about swapping players, it's about Cleveland rewriting its football destiny with stars who have already proven they can carry a team on their shoulders. Now, let's unpack the implications of this stunning deal. Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles' electrifying dual-threat quarterback, has been a revelation since entering the league. His blend of arm talent, athleticism, and clutch playmaking has made him one of the NFL's brightest young stars. On the other hand, Dak Prescott, a veteran with the Dallas Cowboys, brings a wealth of experience, leadership, and a steady presence under center. Cleveland acquiring both signals a radical shift in strategy. No more one and done with quarterbacks. They're building depth, competition, and ultimately flexibility to carve out a championship run. The Browns front office clearly isn't messing around. For years, Cleveland has struggled to find consistency at the quarterback position, a major factor that held the franchise back from reaching the Super Bowl. But by adding Hurts and Prescott, they're addressing their biggest weakness head on. Imagine the possibilities when you have two quarterbacks capable of starting and winning in the NFL. The coaching staff now faces the unique challenge of managing this quarterback treasure trove, crafting a game plan that leverages the distinct skills of Hurts and Prescott while maintaining harmony in the locker room. From a tactical perspective, this trade opens up an entirely new playbook for Cleveland's offense. Jalen Hurts is known for his ability to extend plays with his legs, scramble for yards, and create big plays on the fly. Dak Prescott, meanwhile, excels in pocket passing, reading defenses, and delivering precise throws under pressure. This dual threat at quarterback gives Cleveland the versatility to adapt to any opponent. Whether it's a pass-heavy aerial attack or a balanced run-pass offense. It also forces defensive coordinators around the league to prepare for two very different quarterback styles, complicating game planning against the Browns. This move isn't just a win for Cleveland, it's a seismic event in the NFL quarterback market. The ripple effects will be felt across the league as teams scramble to adjust their own rosters and strategies. The Browns just raised the bar, showing that acquiring elite quarterbacks isn't just about finding a franchise face, but building a sustainable, multi-dimensional offense that can withstand injuries and shifts in momentum. Other franchises will undoubtedly be watching closely, wondering how they can replicate or counter Cleveland's aggressive quarterback acquisition. The players involved have their own stakes and stories in this drama. Jalen Hurts, coming off a stellar season that proved he can win big games, now faces the challenge of adapting to a new city and system while sharing the spotlight. Dak Prescott, known for his resilience after returning from serious injury, will need to re-establish himself in a fresh environment, potentially in a quarterback competition unlike anything he's experienced. Both quarterbacks bring their competitive fire and professionalism, and how they handle this unprecedented situation will be key to Cleveland's success. From the fan perspective, this trade is a wild roller coaster of emotions. Browns fans, long starved for a true franchise quarterback, now have not one but two superstars to cheer for. The excitement and expectations will skyrocket, and the pressure on the team to deliver a winning season and playoff success is immense. Social media is already buzzing with debates and predictions about who will start and how the Browns will deploy their new quarterback duo. It's a storyline that will dominate the NFL offseason and beyond. Financially and contract-wise, this deal is a masterstroke by Cleveland's management. Balancing the salary cap while acquiring two top-tier quarterbacks requires savvy negotiations and strategic planning. The Browns have managed to secure both without crippling their ability to build around them with a strong offensive line, skilled players, and defensive support. This shows a front office that's not only bold but also meticulous in crafting a competitive roster that can sustain success beyond a single season. Looking ahead, the narrative Cleveland is writing with Hurts and Prescott could redefine how NFL teams approach the quarterback position. The idea of carrying two elite quarterbacks might become a new blueprint for franchises aiming for long-term dominance. For now, though, all eyes are on Cleveland as they prepare to unleash this powerhouse duo on the league. The upcoming season promises thrilling quarterback battles, explosive offensive performances, and a fresh contender in the AFC, so buckle up. Cleveland's mega trade bringing Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott together isn't just a headline, it's the start of an NFL revolution. Whether it's a masterstroke or a gamble, this bold move guarantees one thing: football fans everywhere are about to witness one of the most fascinating quarterback stories in NFL history unfold live on the gridiron. Stay tuned because the Browns just made the game way more interesting. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!